Hi, I'm Liz, and welcome to Ceramics of Considerable Importance. It has taken me quite some time to make this video for you. One, I'm slightly terrified of messing up, so I think that's everyone's fear. But as the late Dolly Parton would probably encourage me to do is, honey, get over it and just do the thing. So I'm going to do the thing. So this is my journey to A Woolen Affair, all of the makes that I will be bringing to one of my favorite festivals in the world, which is A Woolen Affair. It is right on the cusp of Rhinebeck sheep and wool, which is, no, it's New York sheep and wool in Rhinebeck, New York. Also one of my favorite festivals. This festival means a lot to me because it was the first time that I felt like I belonged somewhere, and it felt like I could hang out with people with similar interests. I've met so many amazing people with this festival and in this festival, and it just means a lot to me, and it's very, very special and near and dear to my heart, and I absolutely love it. So I am thrilled to be a vendor. It feels like a very pinch me moment. I actually got the news that I was going to be a vendor while my mom was in her last days of her life, and it felt very like bittersweet to share that news with her while she was still like lucid enough, and it just, I don't know, it means a lot, to say the least. So cheers to doing the scary thing. This is tequila. I am drinking La Gritona, which is the Screaming Woman. And it's one of my favorite tequilas in the entire world. So if you're able to get this, I would highly recommend. So cheers, salud. Let's do the thing. So this is Ceramics of Considerable Importance. This is the theme of my booth. The theme of my booth is going to be Wes Anderson themed, which is a very important and very, not just important, but a very life-changing movie that I saw when I was younger. I dragged my mom to the movie theater to go see this movie, and I'm pretty sure we were 2 of the 4 people in that movie theater watching The Royal Tenenbaums, and it changed my life. It showed me that it was okay to be weird. It's okay to do things and show people your artistic creativeness in your own fun, specific way. And I wanted to encapsulate that feeling of weirdness and specialness in my booth that I will be at for my first really big show, which is A Woolen Affair. With that, I really wanted to dive deep into the creative process for this booth. So this is just a behind the scenes look. This is very terrifying. I want you to know that. Like, I could screw up at any moment. I could screw up the whole thing, like I could have a test that will come out of the kiln and look atrocious, and you're going to see it. And I don't like that. It makes me so uncomfortable, but I feel like in my creative process, especially in ceramics, like things mess up all the time, and you just got to roll with it and you got to go with it. And I really feel so connected to the knitting community. Like, I want to be transparent. I want to show you the process so that you can see and feel what I feel when I make things that you bring into your home. Like, I want you to feel the feeling I feel. So with that, I mean, knitters and designers, they are very vulnerable, and they share their creative process and they share their designs with the world so that you can knit it and take it home and live with that object for the rest of your life, hopefully, or how long it takes for that yarn to disintegrate or get eaten by moths, God forbid. And I feel ceramics is the same way. Like, they're going to outlive us. I mean, you go to museums and you see ceramics that have been here for thousands and thousands of years. And so I just feel very, like, responsible to share this story with you. And also I want you to be a part of this with me, because they're for you. These pieces are for you. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to make 80 mugs. I really want to make 100, but I don't think that's going to happen for these hands. Mugs are such an intense make. You see a mug and you feel like you want it, you should take it, because there's been a lot of man hours that have gone into that mug. First, you got to throw it. Then you got to put you got to trim it, then put the handle on it. Then while it's drying, very slowly, I might add, probably under like maybe about a week or two, you try to slow down the drying process so that the mug and the handle are the same moisture level. They acclimate to each other so that there aren't really cracks in that handle making process. Then you got to repair those cracks if there are any hairline cracks. Then you got to fire it once, take it out, glaze it, put it back in the kiln, pray to the kiln gods, as we call it in ceramics world, that nothing goes wrong. And then you have your final object. Then we take it out and then we sand the bottom, because we got to make that baby soft smooth. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work for just one mug. There's like an extra step to the whole process. I mean, but it's the most magical thing. You become part of somebody's ritual, part of somebody's life, part of their everyday. And honestly, mugs are one of my favorite things to make, because there's so many different kinds of options. There's so many different kinds of shapes. There's so many different ways it can fit to someone's hands, and like everyone's hands are different. And it's just, I love mugs. So we got to make 80 mugs first. One of the things that take the longest to dry that I am bringing are mugs and sculptures. So I'm making them both at the same time. So we're going to start with mugs, and then we're going to end with sculptures in the next couple weeks. And then we're off to all of my other handmade items, including small vases. I'm also bringing some cups, which don't take that, they're not as risky because they don't have a handle. So they just dry as one piece, and it's summer here in Texas, so they don't take that long to dry, which is great. And then I have all my flat hand building pieces, which are photo frames, which will be very fun. I will have hopefully a photo booth in my booth, and also some new knit gauze and ornaments that I'm bringing to A Woolen Affair. There could be other things that could come up that I am very passionate about that I want to make, but we shall see. That is what's terrifying about this, because you're going to see how chaotic I get creatively, which is a lot. I have a ADD brain, and you know, I'm looking at this video and I feel very like Janet Jackson. It's because I have a spotlight on me, and I just feel and it's the tequila. So right now I'm working on a sculpture that will hopefully be a lamp. And I say hopefully because I hope nothing goes wrong. And I'm working on those mugs. So let's get to throwing, let's get to putting on those handles, let's get to sculpting, and I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what that looks like. So Liz in the studio is going to cut in now. If you can believe it, these guys were all thrown today. So we have 20 of the, 80 mugs that need to be thrown. Like I said, it's pretty hot here in Texas, so These guys were all ready to come off the bats and be available to trim for tomorrow. So I got to cover these up. And we have this times 4 to do for this week. So that's not including trimming or handles or everything. So I have probably about 4 to 5 different styles on this bat. I was experimenting with what, sales will look like. As you can tell, it's hot. Not in here, but it's hot outside. So it's made everything a little bit more fun. The studio is a little bit chaos, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to be when you're in the middle of production. And we have quite the schedule for the rest of the week. So today's Monday. We threw probably about 20 mugs here. We have 20 more to do later tonight. And it takes me probably about a couple hours to throw about 20 mugs if I'm just focused. But I get distracted. I want breaks. I want, snackies, all of those things. So it takes probably about a couple hours, 2.5 to 3 hours to throw that many. I have maybe about 2 to 3 different styles that we're looking at right now for A Woolen Affair. For mugs specifically, there will be cups as well, and other various things, again, like ornaments and such. But we're focusing on mugs this week. So again, 3 to 4 different styles. Today was a great success. It's not over, but I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's really fun for me. So couldn't be more happy doing this. I'm so excited to see where we end up at the end of the week. Yeah, I am super excited. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of tired, but I'm happy tired. So we got more mugs to throw. So let's get to that. I think that when people grieve and when we have a moment in our lives that just hits us like a train, we have this life-altering thing that happens in your brain physically where you just don't want to put up with any bullshit anymore. And whether it's like bullshit with somebody else or yourself, you just don't want to do it anymore. or you don't have the capacity to do it anymore. You don't have the patience to do it anymore. That is where I'm at. I don't have the patience to do that anymore. And so this series is like me holding myself accountable. I'm also hiding this. It's me holding myself accountable to share this like extremely vulnerable process. Like right now I'm delaying going in and making something because I'm scared that I'm going to screw it up. And it's a huge sculpture and that I have had in my brain since I started ceramics. And it's funny because ceramics is all about screwing it up and doing it again. It's really, I mean, it's knitting. Knitting has taught me like you might screw it up and you might have to do it again. But like I'm scared. I'm scared to go in there and go finish. And I think that's been a lot of my hesitation in making this video is like, oh, I'm going to be extremely vulnerable. I'm going to show you my process, but also I might fuck it up. Thank you for joining me on my rant about the first episode of this collection. I really wanted to make it look like Wes Anderson. Comically, no. I don't have the time. But if Wes was here to help direct this, that would be great. Thank you, Wes Anderson. I hope you watch my video and then want to make a documentary on the knitting community. What if Wes Anderson did a movie about knitting? Maybe a knitting murder mystery? I think we would all love it.